Bob Einstein. In our studio, Steve Landesberg, Herb Sargent. This is Mark Simone, and here again is Steve Allen.
A new Eastern song I've just written. Great neck.
That's a beautiful tune. Yeah, very catchy.
One of the best songs ever written is Brazil.
Yeah.
One of the strongest melodies. Sensational.
You notice how quiet Bob Einstein has been since that little outburst?
Yes, he's chastened. I saw him at Chasen's this last evening, worrying about
writing jokes.
On his own show.
That's all.
Bob, do you have any Purim jokes?
Nope.
Flora
I've got
Purim.
no more jokes. I would certainly not attempt to be funny and change the whole mood of this show. I'm just going to keep it right with this usual informational tilt we're on now, talking about cities and old people.
Let the record reflect that on his own show, Super Dave Osborne Show, one of the funniest shows of the year, Bob never does any questionable material.
Sure he does.
He saves it all.
No, I saw him do something the other night.
Oh, really?
It wasn't questionable.
It was
right out.
filth.
It was right out front there.
I see. Well, then I've missed those portions.
But it fit, though. It was right. Wouldn't have been right on the network, but it was right.
Yeah.
Told somebody what to do with themselves.
That's why you're not on the network. But you know, bust my britches.
Bust my britches. I wish you would bust my britches a little more. You know, years ago...
All right, hand them over here.
Well, all right. And I'd like a little starch in them, too.
Remember the other day we had...
Go ahead.
Remember the other day we had the story about the first McDonald's that opened in a hospital?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, for the first time, a McDonald's has opened behind the Iron Curtain.
My God, McHare in the box.
Mick what?
McHare in the box.
What did he say?
McHare.
How many times do I have to say it?
Until we understand what you're talking about, Bob.
McDonald's has made a deal with Yugoslavia, and the first one is opened in Belgrade, Yugoslavia.
Can you imagine the line? Trying to explain to people what you want?
Mel Brooks' great line on Yugoslavia. He was doing the 12 chairs, and somebody said, how was it? He said, it was pretty dull. Tito had the car.
That's funny. Now, what was that line again, Bob? I find myself curious.
Oh, McHare?
McHare, because I just
because
thought that Russians...
Don't get inhibited now, Bob. Come on.
Had
out
more
with it.
hair than they don't sometimes.
Russians, you think?
Oh, McHare. Oh.
I see.
McHare.
You know that Gromyko just wrote
Jack in the Box?
Yes.
Well, maybe Steve can say this. McHare. Da 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 da.
Oh.
Da, da. You can...
Another song. That's a Midwestern song, isn't it?
McHare's Naval. It's a new situation comedy starring
Ernie
Borgnine and Tim Conway.
And Andre Gromyko.
McHare's Naval. See, I fixed up your
No, you
mess.
didn't.
You left the rest.
Punched it up.
It didn't need anything.
No.
Well, it meant it could use a little meaning.
Oh.
Funniness, none of us can guarantee.
Did you ever ask for that?
The Wire. Steve just got a wire. What does that say? Something about Super Dave being canceled?
But it's only a piece of wire, and it's very hard to read. It's all wound around the electrical cord.
But anyway, McDonald's officials think that this will be the beginning of a whole new empire for them in the Soviet Union, where there is no such thing as a hamburger or French fries.
You're kidding.
The closest thing they've ever had to a hamburger is a spiced ground meat called Fixkavia.
Say that again.
You know what? If you have to do this for the rest of your life, I'd cash it in. Pardon me? What did you say? Excuse
I have a
me?
new series called How's That Again?
You're going to be a lot of trouble when you're working with another actor. Pardon me?
That's why I usually work alone.
But I want to tell you.
That is a great idea.
So when an audience laughs, I say, what was that again?
That is a great idea for a sitcom, a character who just can't hear anybody.
That's right.
You could call
there was a funny play, I think, the distinguished couple, oh my God, it's like...
Longton Fontaine?
Yeah, no. The
Smith and Dale?
Chippendale.
Jessica Tandy and Hume Cronin.
Thank you, that's it, yes.
Jessica Hahn and Hugh Hefner?
No, it was Tandy and Cronin. And they did this play a few years ago in which they were playing old folks who had great difficulty hearing each other.
Oh.
And it was very funny.
Gin game.
Gin
Gin
game.
game.
Thank you, Herb. You know all that stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
If you want to know about stuff, Herb is the first man you call. He's a stickler for stuff. If you want stuff, you call Herb in, and he stickles.
Did you know that they're now using lawyers as laboratory animals? Because they found out there are things that rats won't even do.
You sound as if you've been burned in the legal system.
That's my
of this
St.
great-
Patrick's Day joke. I don't know what it means.
I see. In some of our stations.
So many lawyers go into politics, don't they?
Well,
Most occupations in Congress are lawyers.
yes.
They go to law school, Congress, then right to jail.
It's funny.
Do you know that
Yes?
a man is being sued
Mm-hmm.
for horsimony?
Horsimony. Goofamony I've already announced, but horsimony I didn't know about.
It's never
What's the gist of the
What, is a
complaint?
man living with a horse?
it's never happened before. But he and his wife kept horses, and they've separated, and she is now suing him for horse support.
She wants support for the horses. So she went right to the horses to get, what's his name? The lawyer.
Tex Mitchelson.
Marvin Mitchelson.
Yes, Tex Mitchelson.
So the horse costs about $10,000 a month to keep.
Wow.
The group of horses.
What, does he have his own apartment?
But
His dietary requirements are a little peculiar.
No, it's actually 20 horses, and she is
I
suing
see.
for what has been described as horsimony.
Why, didn't he commit to the horses or something? Did he promise them something and then leave?
That'd be Palomino-mony.
Yeah. That's a special horse.
I met a woman yesterday. Debbie, would you know I sent down to be used on the show something from Ansata, Arkansas. We have a lot of nice listeners in Arkansas. And I met I thought it was right here, there too. In fact, it was there, but I don't know where it is now.
Well, maybe it's over there.
No, it's a document. You might continue to look. It's like a 4 or 5 page thing with pictures of gorgeous Arabian horses.
You know who the man is who's being sued for horsimony?
Who?
Cal Worthington.
You're kidding.
Oh, and his pal Traeger, right?
Yeah.
I just found this document. It says it's pictures of Arabian horses on the cover. Ansata, A-N-S-A-T-A, celebrating 30 years in 1988. And it's not easy to spend 30 years in 1988, but if you're into the Twilight Zone...
You're in the wrong room.
It says here, nestled in the foothills of the Wachitas lies one of the most beautiful Arabian horse farms in the world, Ansata Arabian Stud. Everything here is in tune with nature. The barns, fences, and the buildings harmonize quietly with their surroundings. Anyway, I chanced to sit next to Mrs. Forbes. Not next to a horse. Now, you stop that nonsense. Anyway, she's very
I
nice.
find it so hard to believe that you were able, from an article about horsimony, to pick up a letter and talk about horses.
Everything either reminds me of a piece of paper I have in my other jacket or an experience I had once when I was 12 years old.
Or a song.
Yes.
Well, here's
So
another
let that be a
story
lesson.
from
It's a nice place to retire with the horses there. It's a good place to spend the twilight years.
You were saying, Mark?
from today's paper. You're always interested in education. You'll be
Interested in everything.
You'll be happy to know that 3 convicted felons have become the nation's first prison inmates to receive master's degrees.
Isn't that nice?
That's
In
good.
digging.
I'm hip.
I can dig it. Yeah, baby.
The 3 were convicted of armed robbery, second-degree murder, and weapons violations. But took this special in-prison college program.
That's better. I mean, better than teaching them how to make license plates.
Absolutely.
Because when they do that back on the street later, they make $2 a week, and they say, "Hey, I can make more money than this selling
Sure,
leather." You know.
yeah,
But can you see telling the personnel director, I have a master's degree, and she says, well, that's very good. Where did you get it?
Sing. Why do you have SS on your Letterman sweater?
Because I was in Germany during World War II. But you know,
I gotta tell you.
Seriously, I worked with the Letterman a couple of times. Actually.
Well, they took
I have another nice piece of paper in my hand.
It's beautiful. It's a
Isn't it
beautiful.
pretty?
No, it's a. Could you show it? Could you put it
Yeah,
up to
I'll
the
hold
mic?
it up to the microphone.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
That's
piece
how
of
it
paper.
sounds on the mic. It's somebody sent me a cake, and I guess it's the people who are in the cake business.
has a file.
Have you guys
in it.
heard of what?
It has a file in it.
Have you heard of telecake, as in telephone?
No. Yes.
What have you heard about it, Bob?
Everything you ever want to know. I'm a master in telecake. No, that's when they telephone you and tell you your cake is ready.
You mean somebody's created a service where you call up and you can have a cake sent somewhere?
Yes.
Yes, it's the same as sending flowers or a nice fruit basket.
But I think I remember about a service where you call up and they send a cake. I think it was called a bakery.
Yeah, but now it's called telecake.
But this way they can send it to the far corners of the world.
Oh.
And it's got a picture over here.
Anywhere
Double chocolate
world,
California carrot and cheesecake chocolate
swirl. So if you'd
swirl.
like to send a cake to Iraq, to a friend of yours in Iraq,
please.
just
I'd like hello, telecake, would you send 1,500 prune Danish, please?
Also, if you want to send a long-distance joke, you call telepie.
Or if you don't have a lot of bucks, you can send a telecookie.
You can always tell a cookie, but you can't tell her much. Remember that? Anyway, it's nice. A little birthday, a little...
it's very nice.
Making up with sweetheart or whatever. It's kind of a cute idea.
A cake.
Oh, here's their
Can you have whatever you want written on the cake?
Well, it says, yes, congratulations. How's your sister? Thinking of you. Best wishes. Get off my foot. There's all kinds of interesting...
Wouldn't that be a dumb enterprise if you couldn't? If they said, sorry, we can do everything but inscribe the cake and tell you who it's from.
Yes. You know, in all seriousness...
We can just send out our one cake. We only make one kind of cake, and we send it out, and they have to guess.
Well, it says here, message on the accompanying card, and they have a large choice of messages, such as nice to have you aboard, St. Patrick's Day, welcome to our company, Valentine's Day, whatever, you know. So they have, I don't know if you could... In other words, you couldn't, Bob Einstein, in your case, it would probably occur to you to send a close friend a filthy message of some sort. You see? Wallowing and muck.
I got to tell you something. You're painting a picture here that is not coming out.
I'm the great master painter.
You Boy, am I glad I didn't say
that. We have to take
cut that in.
Take a break, but we'll be back in a moment with
Fine,
more.
I'll be coming back.
Of the Steve Allen Show on the NBC Radio Network.
I'll be back in a moment.
All right.
Tomorrow I fly to exotic York, Pennsylvania.
Super Dave Osborne Show on Showtime. Steve Landesberg, Herb Sargent. This is Mark Simone, and once again, here's Steve Allen.
Hi, boys and girls. It's Sticky Mouse. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Sticky. We don't remember inviting you, but it's nice to have you with us.
Thank you. It's nice to be had with, or whatever you said.
Cute little fella. Get off my piano. There he goes, up the keys. Bless his heart. Now, what do you want to talk about? Well, sir, it's time to bust my britches again.
Now,
Speaking
speaking of college,
yes,
there was a surprising announcement today in the New York City Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be promoted to a sergeant or a lieutenant or a captain, they've announced
you have to steal a college.
You have to have 2 to 4 years of college.
Really?
Silly. I think that's silly. If you're good, you should be promoted.
This means the 3 prisoners now qualify to be
Are now all captains.
What about RoboCop? He did pretty well.
Uh-oh, I hear a RoboCop joke coming up.
No, RoboCop scratching his Zellman.
Let me ask you, how come you're able to say Zellman?
Zellman is a word like thingamajig, whatchamacallit.
No, it is not. Zellman is not a word like thingamajig.
Yes, in my mouth it is.
Well, it certainly conjures up an image.
Zellman Cartwright, how are you? Nice to meet you, Steve. It's good to be here on the show.
See, how are you, Zellman?
Well, not bad. I'm doing better now. Thank you.
Then what?
Well, than I was. The business has improved a great deal.
Good. You still have the bell where you say...
Yeah, the
front,
bell
please?
and teledanish.
So that's the kind of use that Zellman can be put to, Bob Einstein.
Okay.
Why don't you tell the joke again with Zellman instead of Tallywhack?
No.
No, but in that
Hello,
context,
darling.
stop
How are
doing
you, darling? I just woke up, you know.
Jane
My
is
Zellman
busy.
itches. Hello, darling.
You go too far, Einstein. You go all the way to Beverly Hills. Jane is doing a pilot today.
I know I am. Yesterday I did a fireman, but seriously, darling. You know, I was going to wear green today, and I don't have any green clothes, so I put crazy glue on my dress and had the gardener spray grass all over me. It looks wonderful, darling. I love you. I love all of you. All my laughers are there. Hello, Herb. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hello, Tony. Hello, Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hello, sweetheart.
Hi, darling. I'm home now, you know, darling.
Yes. I know I locked you in, but you know it's an interesting thing.
What a wonderful day. I'm doing a pilot today, you know, darling.
A pilot for what?
For $15,000. No, it's a pilot for Jeff Harris. He has some connection with it. So we'll see how that turns out.
Drama or a sitcom?
No, it's a sitcom. They would be lucky to have her. I looked at the script. She's a powerhouse in what they're going to have her do. And then we are off for a working week in Nassau.
You're going into outer space?
Not NASA, Nassau.
Nassau?
Yes.
And
well, you confused it with NASA.
What kind of work?
NASA's in the cold, cold ground.
What kind of work are you doing in Nassau?
Very profitable work, but very simple. It's for the John Hancock Insurance Company.
And you're going to speak to them very slowly.
That's why it takes a week.
That's why they called.
They appreciate clarity of diction.
Enunciation. They don't want humor. They want enunciation.
No, humor is actually eschewed.
What are you doing that would take an entire week?
Every
It's
morning
one
I
act.
do.
It's only a 15-minute act, but when he gets through, it's a week. Hello takes an hour. Welcome.
I bow for an hour, as Milton Berle once said. No, it's a seminar, convention kind of a thing for the John Hancock folks. And so I'll go down there with my quill pen and sign my... We talked about this a few months ago on the show. Very often when people say to you, Steve, they want your autograph, do they ever say, of course they sometimes say, put your John Hancock right there, and that's correct. But I discovered about 17% of the people who try to say that actually say, Mr. Allen, just put your John Henry right there, would you please?
And then you should hit him with a hammer.
I do. I say, sir, John Henry was a steel-driving man. You don't mean that.
So when you do a convention in the Bahamas, you will also be shaking a lot of hands, probably. Because people do want to meet you and shake your hand.
Yes.
And sometimes when I do these conventions, I get a very wet hand.
Really?
And I know that I have to shake the hand of the guy next to me, so I'm busy wiping my hand off so they don't think it's me. But I know that somewhere in America there's a guy going, boy, that Landesberg give me a clam.
Yeah.
I know it's inevitable.
And when they come up from the pool, it could be suntan oil on their hand, then on your hand, and then on your white dinner jacket.
Well, yes, that's true, too, I suppose.
Anyway, it's going to be beautiful down there. I sound like Bob Hope setting up a joke. It's beautiful in Nassau. You know what Nassau is? It's Cleveland with palm trees, but I got to tell you, they didn't tell me.
But I want to tell you. So how long are you going to be down there, for a week?
Yes, it's a week's gig.
You're going to perform every morning?
Perform is not the right word.
Oh.
I am officiating.
Oh, okay.
Because they have some great fish down there if you get the offshore keys.
Okay, now, man, Steve Allen, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bahamas, Steve. It's good to be here with you and Jane. We love to have you, and we're taking the plane. Thank you very much.
No, they never make a change like that. That's to New York. Well...
Yeah, give me a coconut bar, please.
That's RoboCop hiccuping.
That sounds like Alan Sherman's
Hello,
Hello,
Father.
Father.
Oh, yeah.
Here we are at Camp Granada.
That's the Spike Jones version.
Yes, I love Spike Jones.
So did I.
Me too.
Who asked you, Bob, if you like Spike Jones?
No one.
Oh, by the way, Bob, I have an 8x10 I propose to send to you, unless I already did. Remember that great comedians party we had years ago one night at the house?
Yes.
With literally every comedian in the business at that time who was in town
Yes.
was there. Bob Hope, Groucho, George Burns, they were all there.
Jonathan Winters.
Yes, whoever you would name, they were there that night. Jack Oakey, some of the old timers too.
Wow.
Great night. Unforgettable. Anyway, I was looking through some photographs yesterday needed for a book I'm doing, and chanced across one of yourself, Bob, and Bill Daly, and I forget who the other funny chaps are in the picture. Have you ever been sent a copy of that?
No, I would love it.
We,
Right, it's
we have
going
to stop for just a moment.
Plus, I received your letter today, and it made me laugh out loud. I wish I could read it on the air, but
We'll hear more about that in a moment on the Steve Allen Show on the NBC Radio Network.
Hey.
Well, there's 1 hour. Shout to hell.
Oh, boy. Do-da-do-dee. Doop, doop, doop. Doo-doo-dee-da.
Oh, that's a penetrating sound.
You know, one thing I like about flying, I get a lot of reading done.
Yes.
I just don't have time to read everything.
My brain works sensational on airplanes. I do a lot of dictation, a lot of important reading, studying, thinking, a lot of crashing, a lot of screaming.
What a lovely way you love me. More I want you, more I see you. Goes and goes.
Well, that's it for this hour of the Steve Allen Show.
Another hour shot to heck.
the heck.
A lot of fun, though. We thank all of you for participating. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Herb. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Father McKay.
Bob
Thank you,
Einstein.
Sticky Mouse.
Bob Einstein
you,
can be seen in Showtime in the Super Dave Osborne Show.
Thanks so much, and I'll see you in person tomorrow, Steve. I'm bringing Rent-A-Cake.
Wonderful.
Robo Cake.
Robo-Cake.
It'll walk in by itself.
Thanks to Pro Piano. Our producers are
Why
Dick.
did you thank Pro Piano? The piano's gone.
Well, for old time's sake. The producers are Dick Brennan and Debbie Farr. This is the Steve Allen Show on the NBC Radio Network.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Hi.
I wanted you to see the checks that are going over to Jim Freeman.
Okay.
You got my check there?
Oh, sorry, Steve, not this time. Oh, here's another one.
Cash will be fine. There's a club in Jersey I worked. Can't think of the name of it. The guy paid my agent in the bathroom in cash. It was great counting out the cash in the bathroom.
I'd like to find out when that program can be seen.
Okay.
That thing about Gleason. Okay, that's fine. And Screen Actors Guild, all right, good. And
That's a refund from your doctor.
oh, all
I
right.
don't know why, but
Nice to know.
Mhm.
Don't know what that's for, but I guess I'll eventually read about it.
contemporary artists, it's the post-brand flakes.
Oh, that thing. I see. Good. Okie
It's a
dokie.
nice one.
And this
That
was
is
the.
song yesterday that you heard.
I see.
I wonder you didn't know it. I had never heard of that.
Oh, it was really. I thought it might be Tchaikovsky because it was so beautiful, but that's great. Okay, that all helps.
And that is just for me. You shouldn't have seen that.
Oh, all right.
You
Sorry.
made a donation on that.
Okay, good.
Here's Pink's.
Okay, I'll get
Here's
right on
Joe's.
those. Good.
And did you bring the How to Be Funny down to...
I put it in my brown bag.
okay,
It
you
should
wanted...
be should be right in there.
Check some items for us to Xerox.
Ah, yes. Is that the only copy we now have left?
We only have 3 or 4 left.
I see. Okay. Right. I'm supposed to look at it. I see what
You're
you mean.
supposed to clip pages or rotate or something. You know, Happy St. Patrick's Day, Steve.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, darling.
To
You know,
all of
I
us.
was polite.
No, but I can be
It
for
could
the
be
moment.
just for a few hours.
I don't mind, you know. I love playing the role. I did a priest in a sketch once. I did that with. Hey,
Have you done Father Mulcahy with Steve?
No, I
Yes,
have.
we
Well,
have.
I was interviewing him for a
Say
while.
we might even do a little more of the good
Oh,
fellow.
would you know? Would you be doing that now, Father? Would you like to have a drink with me later, Father?
After doing it.
Well, okay, I'll go up and have a drink. Go home. I'll go up and change my clothes and come down, Mom. You're fine, Father.
Debbie, tell Mark that we can start I'll ad-lib into the top of page 25. Oh, there you are. On Father Mulcahy, top of page 25.
Okay.
And so we can do a little more of that because might as well clear it out at these prices. Now then. Wait a minute. There's that. Okay.
You don't have to write in that book. It's all right here.
Right. Okay, it can start bottom paragraph on page 2 of whatever. Maybe it's just page 2, period. And I'll take page 3. And also starting on the bottom of page 8, 9, and 10. And
That's all?
That's all I
Bottom
want.
of 2 and all of 3. Bottom of 8, 9, and 10.
Correct.
And
yeah.
you're taking the book too?
I'll take the book, yeah.
All right. Lazar said your luggage...
Well, you know, I won't. Yeah, I better take it just to waive it, yeah.
Okay. Your luggage is ready, but they want to be paid. Can we put it on a credit card?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any of my numbers up there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure I do.
good.
Can diners, does that have to be dining?
What?
Can we use diners for things like that?
I imagine so. I don't really know, though. Yeah.
I'll find out. Steve, Christie got these Yankees for you. Should we send them to Woolman or...
Yeah, over the phone. That's
Okay.
the simplest way. She can pencil it right in. Thanks.
How you doing, Steve?
Hi, how you doing? Great to
Okay.
see you guys.
Okay.
I call you guys because
You know there's
you're,
someone
you're
behind
worth
it.
any 2 men in my experience.
Figured nobody's been picketing you lately, I tell you.
How's it going?
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good.
You know Steve Landesberg?
We met outside.
We met outside. We did the Mary Town Moore Sidfar, I guess after. Wasn't he on that?
No.
Were you in that?
No, but I was in the building.
I would love to retire that.
No,
What?
I was in the.
Well, it's a conversation starter.
You did the Maritime one?
The Sitvar. You know the Sitvar?
Oh
Were you
no,
on
I did a
What?
voiceover for her variety show.
Oh, that was.
But I never did the show. No, I did it something like a straight voiceover. I remember sitting in the studio.
Oh, maybe
Closest
that's
thing.
Letterman of it, didn't
Letterman did it.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That was after we got.
I was in the
before we got
building when
there.
they were doing Mary Tyler Moore. I was doing the Paul Sands show.
Oh yeah. Well, you know.
Friends and Lovers.
You know Steve Prisker then maybe.
Yeah,
Was
he
he
was
like the
doing
producer,
the Paul
right.
Sands show. If I
Right.
remember, I think he had some battles with some people there.
Steve did?
I don't know if he was there at the end.
He's Mr. Battle.
I can't remember. Oh, no, maybe that was another show. I don't remember now. It's vague. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Are we in the air?
Okay. Oh, I lost my...
Allen Show. Coming up this hour, comedy writers Isles and Stein, Bob Einstein, Steve Landesberg, Herb Sargent. This is Mark Simone, and now here's Steve Allen.
Steve's in the bathroom again.
Again?
Well, he's really very filthy. He had a tremendous amount, because during the breaks he goes out and works on his trucks.
He's very filthy. What about Bob Einstein?
I don't see anything wrong with Bob's material. I mean, you know, he's passable. But Father Mulcahy may come back, I don't know. St. Patrick's Day in some areas, not all country, certain stations.
Passover in some places.
In a number of places, it's Passover. That's true.
So we'll
do the best you can, Mark. You only have 1,500 people to work with you.
All right. Well, we'll stop for just a moment, and then we'll search for Steve Allen.
We'll be looking for him. You know?
In a second on the Steve Allen Show on the NBC Radio Network.
Terrence, go into the bathroom and look for Steve.
Debbie? Debbie? Oh, tell Mark.
Hearing myself again.
Tell Mark that he can start by saying, Father, an hour ago, you were on our show, whatever. You were telling us about.
Put you to work here, didn't he?
The Blarney Stone.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll pick it up from there. I'll open as Father Mulcahy today, one of my regular characters.
Oh.
I was saying to Steve a little while ago, I was in Washington recently, and I woke up about 2 o'clock, middle of the night, and on the way back to bed, I thought of...
What's that?
Oh, swell. Debbie, the distortion is now to the point of illegibility. Serious. I hope so. Anyway, I thought of some Father Mulcahy jokes. Character.
Oh, great.
I started to dictate, and I dictated for over an hour, and I ended up with about 38 pages of Father Mulcahy jokes.
Jeez.
Unbelievable.
So every
a series.
few days we read a few of them.
God.
I got to see what the hell I said.
You went an hour?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Weird. It's I don't know, 34 pages or something.
God. I can just barely think of something funny, you know.
I'm thrilled when I come up with one new line.
One thing.
Wow.
It's like an hour. Were you like exhausted afterwards?
I did some man on the street bits after that.
Any word on the strike, or is it just the usual?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Fortunately, we have a producer capacity. So.
Oh, you're hyphenates.
Yeah, hyphenates.
So we're under contract.
Steve's laughing.
Hope it's
one of those good Mulcahy bits.
Mulcahy.
And now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, here's Steve Allen.
Steve's still not here, but Father Mulcahy
still not
is
there,
returned,
huh?
Mark, if you want to talk to Father Mulcahy. It's good to see you again, Father.
Thank you, Steve. Oh, me boys. Wonderful, wonderful. Hello, you young. Who are you two? I haven't had the pleasure before.
Well, we're Isles and Stein. We're
comedy writers. Isles and Stein.
Isles and Stein. I remember. Da 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 da. Isles and Stein. Oh, I wish I knew the chords of that song.
It's Father Mulcahy.
You never see Steve and Father Mulcahy in the room at the same time.
No, he'll be back in a few minutes. Bless his heart.
Steve would do that. Isles and Stein. He would do that same thing. It's.
That's how they got together.
Well, how are you, Mark Simone, back there in old Gotham?
Well, Father, you know, this time of the year, the Irish are all celebrating, and we have
like some of our stations. Yes, they are.
Well, this is that time of year, and we'd like to have you tell us about all the great Irish customs, the Blarney Stone, for instance.
Yes, we talked about that earlier on some of our stations. And I gave you my honest opinion. It's the stupidest thing in the world. You have to go to Ireland, you hang upside down high up in a castle tower, and millions of people are getting killed. I wouldn't be surprised. And sure, some of them is Protestants and Arabs and Jews and God knows what all going back to Tokyo and Istanbul and Tel Aviv, saying they kissed the stupid Blarney Stone. I say, with me mouth, the Blarney Stone should be removed. It's an eyesore, and so should a kidney stone if you suffer from one. And you probably deserve to if the truth be known, and if it were, you'd probably be arrested as well, God knows. I'm on to you all. I don't have any doubt about that. So I hope you don't either.
Father, if you'll forgive me for saying
I'll
so.
forgive you if you say 3 Our Fathers and 6 Hail Marys and bring me a prune Danish and a cup of Java. I haven't had Java in years. I drink coffee all the time, but Java's in very short supply.
Well, if you'll forgive me for saying so, I think I'm beginning to detect a little paranoia.
Really? Oh, a little paranoia fell from out the sky one day, and it landed on 3rd Avenue, so many miles away. Though they belted you and flayed you just to make your lakes so grand. And when they had it finished, sure they played a one-night stand.
Father, are you aware that what you just sang doesn't make any sense at all?
Of course I'm aware. It ain't the one who sang it in the first place. There's a lesson in all of this, me boy. Life itself, doesn't make as much sense as we'd like it to. But I always say, you take care of the sense, and the dollars will take care of themselves.
Well, Father, when you visited us a few weeks ago, I forgot to ask about your sister, Margaret Mulcahy. Now,
Sister Margaret.
I've never met her, but I would imagine that she's a sweet, amiable person, very much like yourself.
Would you know? Well, you're as wrong can be, me bucko. The last 25 years of her life, she was a mother superior, But that particular mother was never all that superior. I'll tell you the truth. I know it's not nice to speak ill of the dead, but she had me scared to death while she was alive, so this is my only chance.
You mean she wasn't actually a nice person?
A nice person? You're kidding? Not at all. She was a harridan. You may remember the song I wrote about it at the time. H-A-R-R-I-D-A-N spells harridan. Yes, sir.
What a pity. She's no longer with us, you say?
That's right. She died of the fever.
Of the fever?
No, the favor. I did her a favor and she died of it.
Well, that's very interesting. I didn't know that your sister was a nun.
Well, sure ain't all sisters nuns, for God's sakes.
But what was her specific order?
Well, get out of me way was the usual one. She gave that order an awful lot. She was very good at giving orders, as a matter of fact. She used to make me lose me temper, Holy orders, I'd shout whenever she got me riled up. There was a lot of starch in her surplus, I'll tell you.
Her surplus?
No, not surplus, dummy. I said there's a lot of starch in her surplus.
Her surplus?
Now you got it, me bucko. And if I paid you more than $1, I guess you'd do a better job. No, she ran a surplus store down in the Bowery. Army surplus, Navy surplus. I'm just pulling your leg, making a little joke. Oh, God, if I'd only make a big one once in a while.
Father...
Well, what else can I tell you?
Do you keep up with the latest books? Do you have much time for reading?
Oh, yes. I not only read the new books, sometimes I review them for Commonweal or America,
Are you familiar with St. Anthony's Messenger?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm familiar with him. I met him a couple of times. Gave him a good tip, too, when he came up there.
You gave the messenger a good tip?
That's right. How's your sister in the 5th with Mary Gansett? That was the tip. That was a tip I gave him. And I once gave Congressman O'Neill a good tip, and that's why they call him Tip O'Neill to this day. See, you don't know these things until I tell you about it.
Perhaps we'd better get back to books.
You better get back to bed if you take a little advice from a disinterested party.
Now, Father, since you
all right,
do keep up on your reading, what can you tell us about Cher height?
Oh, yes. Well, I can't be too sure about this, but I've reason to believe that Cher's height is about 6'2". She's a tall, skinny, dark-haired woman. I say that because Sonny Bono himself was a very short fellow, don't you know? A wee broth of a lad. And how anybody could even think of making broth out of a lad, I've never understood. Sheer cannibalism, even in retrospect.
But Father, getting back to this time of year, is it really true, as we've been told, that St. Patrick chased the snakes out of Ireland?
Do you believe that nonsense? Of course it's not. Why, the whole thing is ridiculous on its face. And when you're on your face, you look a little ridiculous. Lying there, prone or prostrate, as the case may be.
Well, how do you know that St. Patrick did not chase the snakes out of Ireland?
All right, I'll tell you, Mr. Wise Guy, because there never was any snakes in Ireland in the first place.
Then where does that old belief come from?
It comes from a misunderstanding, which is where most old dumb beliefs come from. The original truth was that St. Patrick chased the sneaks out of Ireland. You've never seen an Irish sneak, have you? An Irish snook or two, yes, maybe that, but never a sneak. Of course, Snakes are notoriously sneaky, so for all I know, maybe a few of them sneaked back into Ireland while I was looking the other way.
You were looking the other way?
Certainly I was. You don't think I looked this way all my life. With the wrinkles and the bags and the unsightly facial hair. But why should I care how I look anyway? Who am I trying to attract, old man of the cloth that I am? So now I'm taking life a day at a time, and I put my trust in the Saints in New Orleans, and the Patriots in Boston, the Bears in Chicago, and the Rams in Los Angeles.
Father Mulcahy, as long as you're here today...
Yes, and I've hardly ever been here this long, I must say.
Well, anyway, Father, maybe you could straighten out something for me.
I wish I could. If it's your left leg, there's nothing I can do about that. Straighten it out yourself. I don't know why you keep it all bent up under the table there anyway. But I do want to wish all me friends, I think I have about 3 left, a happy St. Patrick's Day in some of our stations, and a happy Pesach on some of other stations, and whatever kind of happiness you need, just break off a piece and chew on that for a while.
Happy
See you all later, fellas.
Happy
thanks
Pesach.
to Eisenstein, and thanks to Mr. Landesberg over
See you,
here.
Father.
And Herb Sargent, if he's back there.
And I want to tell you.
Goodbye, everybody.
I mean it sincerely.
Hey.
Well, Steve.
Hey,
Hi,
guys.
Steve.
How are you? It's Steve. It's
Stevie.
Hey,
Don Wilson.
Don.
So who was that? Father Mulcahy?
Father Mulcahy.
I heard him getting screams. No laughs, but a lot of screams. Bless his heart.
He's a funny father.
Old man of the cloth that he is.
It was like the St.
He breaks it up
It's like
pretty
the
good every
St.
Sunday.
Patrick's Day massacre here.
Well, before long, we'll probably have Sticky Mouse coming in.
Well, we have
What
to...
have you been up to, Herb?
I was out watching the parade.
The Sticky Mouse
It was
parade.
by your absences.
The St. Patrick, it's not as funny as it used to be. Remember?
Why is that?
I don't know. It used to be funny. Remember we used to write jokes about it and things?
Oh, that's right, yeah. Well, there's so much tragedy in the world now. People are in deadly earnest about everything.
Well, we have to stop for just a moment. Speaking
Good,
of
but when are we
tragedy...
stopping? That's the question.
Speaking of tragedy, it's time for a commercial, and then we'll continue in a moment with more of The Steve Allen Show on the NBC Radio Network.
What the hell is this equipment? Oh, Debbie.
Oh, Debbie.
I'll take the first hour and this hour on tape, please.
Oh, that's funny. Sticky Mouse.
Hey, boys and girls.
So where's Bob Einstein?
He's on the phone. He was for the first hour, anyway.
I see. We did it on the road somewhere, or you just want to bother?
He calls from his house.
Yeah,
Oh.
to his office. Or his car.
Da-da-da.
Well, that uses up all of the Father Mulcahy.
Oh, Father.
God.
We have Pink Pages.
Sure,
Tell
do that.
some. Christy, are you there? Guess not.
Pink Pages.
Boy, all that stuff I'm through with can go upstairs whenever they come for. Jeez.
Who?
Great equipment on this.
On the NBC Radio Network.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got a spoon on your piano or something. One string sounds a little.
Well, something fell.
There's your sister's a spoon. Where is it?
Oh, it's your bell. Here's the bell.
Oh, thank you.